Oh, hi. If you want to know what exciting finds I found today at Goodwill, including this Hallmark wireless figure and this Spode Christmas bowl, stay tuned. It gets exciting. Hi, I'm here at Goodwill. Problem is, I'm 15 minutes early. I tried to get in, but they threatened to call the police, so I'm out here waiting with you guys. We could count down the minutes till it opens. That might get a little boring, so I'll just meet you inside. Well, here we are at the first Goodwill of the day. I usually have pretty good luck here, so I'm hoping that continues. I think we should hang around a while. Ooh. Okay, no more bad jokes. Yay! Let's get started. I walked over to these purses. I don't usually look at purses because I don't know enough about them. But these were new, they had just put them out, so I took a look. I saw this leather handmade purse with American Indian style. It was $12.99. I looked inside, there was a pouch. It was also handmade. So I said, for $12.99, take a shot with it. What do you got to lose? So I put it in my cart and I moved on. On my way to the next aisle, I stopped at this end cap. I saw this teapot. It wasn't much. It was pretty cheap, as a matter of fact. On the shelf below it, I saw this Mind Spring Angel. I would usually give these a second look, but this was $9 to start with, and that was way too high. Then I saw this ceramic. It was a cheap ceramic figure. I just put it back. On the shelf below it, there wasn't much either. That cross was nothing. Then I saw this bowl. It was made in China. It was cheap, so I put it back and went to the first aisle. This next aisle was their ceramic aisle. I had been to this store about 3 or 4 days ago, so I recognized most of this stuff. But I figured I'd just scan the aisle and see what I could find. I saw this little trinket box, but it was made in China. It wasn't by a good company, so I put it back. I kept scanning this aisle. I saw a few things I hadn't seen before. This little leaf-shaped dish, but it was really cheap. I put it right back down. This cat I thought was cute, but I couldn't make any money off it. And this cow, he was a creamer, or could even been a vase, a flower vase, I don't know. But it was time to go to the next aisle. This next aisle was their lamp aisle. First thing I saw that interested me were these kerosene lamps. But they weren't as old as they looked, so I left them, and they were a little expensive. Below they had another group of nice looking lamps, but nothing that I really wanted. Then I went back to the top shelf and I saw this old AM/FM radio made to look like a 1920s microphone. They were only asking $2.99 for it. It was missing the battery cover, but I could probably find one of them. So I took it home. I walked over to this next aisle. It was glassware and cups and mugs. This was a Mount Rushmore. I thought it might have been something, but then I noticed it was made for Target. So it definitely couldn't go for much money. I passed on it. I kept moving down the aisle. A couple of mugs caught my eye. But then this bowl, I could see it was really well made. I found out it was by Spode. Now Spode's a great maker of ceramics, so for 99 cents, I was definitely going to look this one up and probably take it home. I wanted to discuss this Spode bowl. Spode was founded in Stoke-on-Trent, England. It was founded by Joshua Spode. He has supposedly made a new way of making porcelain after there was a shortage of porcelain and became very famous for that. His old bowls are worth a fortune, but the company's been sold a few times since then, so they're not as valuable as they once were. But there are still collectors for them, and they're still a very highly made ceramic. So if you see them, look them up. Some of them are still going for quite a bit of money. Okay, so now back to the video. Well, here we are at the next Goodwill. I like this Goodwill, and I usually plan to hit here around noontime, because in order to get to the Goodwill, you have to pass Starbucks, which I like their coffee. Then a little bit further down, I could eat lunch at Steak and Shake. And then right past that, if you see the blue sign in the distance there, is Goodwill. So this is a fun place for me to go. Well, we're almost there. I'll see you guys inside. Well, talking about all that food made me hungry, so I'm going to try to get through this store fast. So let's get started. The first thing I came across on this aisle were these headphones. But I think people want those earbuds more now, so I just passed on it. The next item I saw was this Hallmark. These are the wireless Hallmarks. They come in a set of 4 or 5. You push the button, one starts playing, then the rest start playing. This was for $2.99, and they are expensive, so it was going home with me. I want to discuss these Hallmark wireless figures. They come in sets of 4 or 5. And when you start one up, they all start playing in unison. They communicate with each other. They're really cool, and they're not cheap. Some of these sets can go for $100, $150. This happens to be the Angel Choir set. There's 4 pieces in it. But they have sets with Disney, Minnie Mouse, Mickey Mouse, etc. They have Snoopy and Peanuts. That set, I think, goes for over $100. So if you see these, you'll always pick them up cheap, because most people just confuse them with a normal Hallmark. But they're not. These are special. Well, let's get back to the video, because I'm dying to see what other great stuff I got. On this next aisle, I didn't really see much at all. Quick update on the Angel figure. It's sold. $16.95, $4.25 shipping. That means someone's willing to pay over $20 for one of the set of 4. I told you, they're a good buy. If you see them, pick them up. Let's get back to the video. I thought this was a pencil holder. It turned out it was a music box that was missing pieces. The next thing I saw was this Hannah Montana. It was for your car dash. You put it on your dashboard. It plays music. It worked. The batteries were still good. So I thought I'd give it a shot. I know Miley Cyrus isn't as popular as she used to be, but I was going to try it. This store had 2 aisles of glassware. As you can see, the Christmas stuff's starting to come out. I like looking around these aisles, because every once in a while you can find something pretty decent. But usually it's just the run-of-the-mill mugs that if they gave them to you for free, you couldn't make a profit. On this bottom shelf here, I saw this beautiful plate. It was one of those art glass plates. It was made by, I couldn't make out the name exactly, but a McGannon. And it was only $3.99. It was well made. I was going to put it in my cart and look it up. Well, I was getting rather hungry, so it was either Starbucks or Steak and Shake. So you guys decide, and I'll meet you there. After lunch, I drove to the Goodwill near my house. I walked in, and everything was Christmas. They had taken almost half the store and put the Christmas stuff up. Well, that's not the stuff I look for. But I'm sure they still had some good aisles, so I just had to go search them out. First aisle I came to that wasn't Christmas stuff was these mugs, but there was nothing there. Then I saw this Lady Di and Prince Charles upcoming marriage commemorative plate. It was well made. It was made by Royal Worcester, but for some reason when I looked it up it was cheap, so I had to put it back and go to the next aisle. I made my way over to the toy aisle, It was run-of-the-mill stuff. This Star Wars, I looked it up. I thought it might be worth money, but it wasn't, so I just left it there. Then I saw a Nerf gun. Now, if you've been watching my videos, I've been picking up a lot of Nerf guns, but I sold them all, and now it's time to get the collection back started. It's a Nitro. It's $2.98. It was definitely cheap enough to take a chance with, so I put it in a cart. Right next to it was this other Nerf gun, but it also said The Walking Dead, so I figured it had a crossover appeal, and for $1.98, I was definitely going to give it a shot. So I put that in the cart also, and I started to move on to the next aisle. Next aisle I came across was the electronics aisle. This is going to be a good aisle for me to show you what I have to go through sometimes in order to decide whether to buy something or not. As I was scanning this aisle, I saw this globe. It's supposed to float and look like it's levitating and spinning, but it needs a power supply in order to work, and it didn't have one. So I had to go find one. So I came over to where they sell their little power supplies. I edited this video because it took me a while to find the proper cord, the power cord, but I found that it was here. And now I had to take the power cord. It did fit inside the globe's base, and now go test it, go find an electrical outlet. So I finally located 2 electrical outlets up in front of me, and I figured I could test it out here. Now you guys have to remember, I have one hand holding the camera and the other hand trying to test this out, so it's going to look a little awkward. I plugged it in, and nothing. The magnet was already on it, so it does stick. But I couldn't get any juice. I tried spinning it, didn't start it up, nothing. I didn't know whether it spun or it levitated, but I wasn't getting anywhere with it. So I just had to leave it, and that was it. It was no good. Someone else can mess with it. Well, I decided it was time to go, so I was going to head up to the counter. Oh, did you guys notice? There's a third gun in my cart. I picked it up off camera. It was $1.98. I think it was called AccuStrike. So now I had 3 Nerf guns, and my collection was started again. So I headed up to the counter. Now, if you guys enjoyed this video, please click the subscribe button, and don't forget to tell a friend. Happy hunting.